Someone just said that I'm using my dead grandfather to get views on my TikToks. This is coming from a person who has less followers than me and was visited by the ghost of Chicken McNuggets. So I say to you, sir, you are blocked, and don't ever insult my grandfather or me again. I wish you the very best, and I hope you go to hell. Yay! Hello, my darlings, and welcome to a brand new episode of Girls Gone Mild. What you just saw in the intro was basically a video, actually a TikTok that I made December 10th, 2021, which was the day after my grandfather's funeral. If for those of you who don't know, long story short, I was not welcome to go to my grandfather's funeral back in California due to me being too honest on Facebook. And in my godmother's eyes, me being too honest on Facebook mean I was not allowed to share personal things of my relationship with my grandfather and I. Needless to say, my grandfather and I didn't really have a good relationship, but we still loved each other no matter what. Unfortunately, my godmother didn't like that, and she did make the situation all about herself. And unfortunately, I was not welcome to come to California and go to the funeral. Needless to say, and the reason why I made that TikTok was not because of my godmother. It was because I made a tribute video for my grandfather. My personal way of dealing with him being gone and not me being welcome to the funeral. I made a tribute video, which I will put it in the description below. It was basically showing some of the shows that he really loved watching. He loved I Love Lucy, he loved MASH, he loved Seinfeld, just all these different shows he loved watching, and I loved watching with him when I was little. And I also sang some songs for him. It was very emotional, mind you. It was very emotional making the video. I did share a preview of it on TikTok, and unfortunately, there was a person on there who, needless to say, he basically said that I was using my dead grandfather to get views, which that's totally disrespectful, and that was my response to him. So, with that being said, the reason why I am talking about this, the reason why I put that in the intro, is because I figured, why don't we continue what I talked about last week? My rise above hate topic. For those of you who didn't watch last week's episode, I was discussing a situation that happened between me and another drag queen. That she got offended that I made a TikTok, and personally, she think I was making fun of drug addicts, which that wasn't the case. Which, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Then you can come back here and we'll discuss more topics about Rise Above Hate. But the reason why I wanted to continue it, because I had another person today basically saying what she had to say. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like cruel or anything like that. It was just that it's funny to talk about this person because she is so young. But I figure we'll save that towards the end. I will talk about my other hate comments, my other haters that I've met for the past 2 years. Some of you may know this story, some of you don't. So for the new ones, I will explain it short and sweet and to the point. Basically, if you're friends with me on Facebook, that means I trust you enough to go through my pictures and comment on my stuff, and you won't be rude to me in any shape, way, or form. I'm very skeptical about accepting friend requests from people I do not know. And if I do accept your friend request, please do not send me unwanted pictures of your private parts. But that's mostly men, whether they're straight or gay. Mostly the men do that, and that's why I'm very skeptical of accepting any friend request from men. So there was this one guy named Shane Booth, and he was a huge fan of my makeup work. Basically, needless to say, he was a loyal fan for a good 2 months, and he always loved my makeup work. And unfortunately, he stopped being a fan when he started hearing my singing. And I will say this, it's probably the first time in all my years of singing, I've been singing for over 10 years now, that I've actually heard someone saying that I had a terrible voice. I usually get good comments like, oh, my voice is soothing, my voice is sweet, that I could make a career out of it if I wanted to. Just a lot of great comments, which I appreciate those great comments. Thank you so much. But Shane Booth didn't like my singing. And what finally drove him up the walls, finally was the last straw for him, was when I sang Every Rose Has Its Thorn from Poison, Bret Michaels. I love Bret Michaels. And it finally blew him off. And basically blocked me. Basically blocked me and unfriended me because of that. Well, now, I know I said in the last episode that if you guys ever had a problem with what I did or what I was doing or what I was about to do in any way, shape, or form, I would rather you message me privately instead of commenting in public, because not only will you make yourself look like a jackass, you're embarrassing yourself in front of everybody else, who I have thousands of loyal fans. In the end, they always have my back. I know this for sure. Unfortunately, well, I wouldn't say unfortunately, Shane Booth, while I didn't appreciate him being rude and disrespectful, he did privately message me. And basically, he did apologize. That was a good way to start. But as I was reading his message all the way through, basically saying that I need to stop my horrible singing, or in the way he said it, my horrible single. And it makes me laugh that the people who are haters and like to ruin people's day and comment on social media, what I love about it is that you guys do not know how to spell. And there are many people in this world who can't spell and need help on it. But for people who are haters and do it, you don't need special treatment in the end. The fact of the matter is, like, he couldn't tell the difference between the words singing and single. Really makes me laugh. But the reason why I exposed him is because now he was saying that my friends on Facebook would greatly appreciate that. You don't know shit, dude. So I took a snapshot of it, shared it on social media, and I also made a TikTok of the response. And here was my response, which I will show you right now.
Here's what really gets to me. When the match was over, John Bradshaw Layfield and those two other things that call themselves announcers stood up and gave a standing ovation along with 80,000 other people in the Superdome. Superdome, Hogan, not Silverdome.
So yes, when I do say that I expose my haters for who they are, I really do expose them for who they are. I am not that type of person who's going to take anyone's crap anymore. Um, but the thing is like when I was young, when I lived in California for the whole 26 years I lived in California, all my life, ever since I was born, I have always taken the verbal abuse, the the beat downs, the jump ons, whatever they call them. I think yeah, I have been jumped on a couple times at school. Uh, I have been verbal abuse because in the end, words do hurt. And it's like I never really had a good childhood. And this is not basically gain sympathy from people or anything like that. I'm just telling you how it is. And some people will take this like, oh, he's just trying to get attention and everything. Like, no, that's not the case at all. You don't know what a person's really going through until they tell you. But in the end, the person you're telling, it's really their choice if they want to believe you or not. Plain and simple. But I have taken it, and it was not only from the people who didn't know me, like the bullies at school or people outside the family. Family, I was also taking that from family as well. Now, I mean, they didn't beat me, but they would verbally abuse me. And it was just disgusting. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. Which is why it's like I say now that my aunt is not a great person. She's a terrible person. My godmother. Not my aunt in Ohio, but my godmother. And while I love her very much in the bottom of my heart, I want nothing to do with her. After everything that happened last year, after my grandfather passed away, and her basically just verbally abusing me and everything going on. Basically trying to get my grandmother not to talk to me and just a lot of things. I'm done. Which is why it's like ever since I moved out here to Ohio, I swore to myself that I would never take anyone's abuse or bullshit ever again. And I don't appreciate that she keeps saying that she has done everything for me ever since my dad passed away, when in the end, she treated me like crap when I came back from my dad's funeral. I don't take anyone's bullshit, especially from the haters. And her and Shane Booth and other people just are miserable and terrible people. They're terrible people and they just want to rain on everybody's parade because they actually have a better life than them. But I mean, like, ever since I started doing drag, I've always gotten hateful comments. Hell, I mean, I have gotten a couple death threats too. But it's really not going to ruin my day because, like they're actually going to do this. Like, at the end of the day, they just feel like they're entitled to it because they're behind a computer or they're behind their phone. They wouldn't say this face to face with me because they are too scared. I guess that's one of the reasons why social media is kind of like destroying us a little bit. Is because we rely on it so much, especially the haters, because they feel like they have a right to say what's on their mind, and they are right to their opinions. But when you're hurting someone in the process, that's when you draw the line. Needless to say, which is why I said what I said last week with the drag queen who had an issue of the TikTok I made. While she wasn't worth my time, I basically am understanding more of the situation that maybe there's more things going on in her life. Which is why I didn't really expose her that much. Which is why I never mentioned her. Because in the end, she was using my TikTok to get attention, but she doesn't deserve the fucking privilege to get her name mentioned. And unfortunately, this is where I have to talk about this young girl, which they believe she's a young girl, that commented on one of my tattoo videos that I did, I believe, on Sunday. She commented on it Monday, but I believe I did the tattoo video on Sunday. This is a 13-year-old person. I'm just going to say person because I don't know whether she's a girl or a guy. Maybe she's transgender. I don't know. I don't know this person. So I'm just trying to be safe here. Um, but it's just interesting. I mean, her comment wasn't like terrible. It wasn't offensive, anything like that. It was just interesting to read her comment. And the thing is, I respected her opinion. I did take a snapshot of it. Let me find it real quick for you guys. And I found it. Here we go. Okay, before I talk about this person real quick, I just want people to know what my tattoo thing is. I started doing a tattoo gimmick, which started back, I believe, in January or February of this year. Um, I got the tattoo idea gimmick from my coworker at work because she has a tattoo on her back, and she's also dating another coworker of mine. When both of them are basically my best friends at work, and they're dating each other. Um, what's funny about him is that he likes to be old fashioned and doesn't like tattoos at all. So basically, she always wanted to get another tattoo, but he won't allow her. So it's kind of funny to me. And her and I kind of like came up with the idea. I just ended up rolling with it. And I always start every tattoo video as I like getting tattoos, but I can't get any more tattoos because my boyfriend doesn't want me to get any more tattoos. And then from there, I basically say the randomest shit ever. Which in the end, a lot of people find really funny, which ended up becoming my new gimmick. And I enjoy it. Sometimes it's a hit and miss, as a lot of people find every single one funny. I do remember my coworker as he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, I feel like some of your tattoo gimmicks are stale, meaning like you kind of like missed the mark." Which I can respect his opinion, because sometimes I do feel like sometimes I do miss the mark. Like, what the hell am I saying? What am I doing? Um, I do come up with things on top of my head, but sometimes I take ideas from movies or TV shows because I just feel like they work. And needless to say, in this one that this teenager commented on, it was basically after I said what I said, I basically used music from Men in Tights. Mel Brooks' Men in Tights. Him making fun of Robin Hood. And it was a scene where all the guys are in the tights and they're singing a song about it. So I used part of that for the tattoo gimmick for Sunday. And I thought it was hilarious. And yeah. Needless to say, this teenager did not like it. And as you can see what she said, it wasn't like anything bad. It wasn't like hateful. Just basically saying you're not funny. That's it. And my thing is like I'm not gonna fight with a teenager because he or she is still young and doesn't know any better. So I mean, as you can see, I replied back, "That's your opinion, love. I respect it. I hope you have a beautiful day." Just being nice about it. And then her just basically saying, "Shut it." All I could say is maybe she has a rough life going on right now. I don't know. Maybe her parents don't treat her good, or maybe she's learning from her parents. Because sometimes as a kid, what's the first thing you want to do? You want to be just like your parents. And unfortunately, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. And I feel like either she's acting like her parents had taught her, or she's getting verbally abused, or something is going on to make her act this way. And she can't really talk back to anybody else, so she's taking it out on social media. And unfortunately, once again, it comes down to this: I am an easy target. And a lot of people just assume I'm an easy target. So, which is why they attack me. But what they don't realize, like I said, is that I am the type of person that will fight back and will embarrass you. And this is why I have the most loyal fans in the world, is because they do have my back. As you can see, the person commented down below, and she's such a sweetheart. She said, basically said, "You shut it." She also said something to me that I shouldn't listen to the haters. You're funny and you're gorgeous, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Um, but it's just things like that. It's like I love my fans, and I will do everything for them as they would do the same thing for me. But it's just interesting to see that this teenager who is just showing a lot of disrespectful to me and also to that person who had my back. Obviously, it tells me that there's more to the story of this person, this teenager's story. Maybe there is something going on behind closed doors. Maybe she feels that she cannot, uh, I don't know, that she has to take out her aggression on social media. And unfortunately, I was just a target. And the thing is, I'm not gonna. I know I would say I would expose my haters and embarrass them, but she already did that to herself. But this is a 13-year-old who is still young and doesn't know any better. And like I said before, I just love it that the people who are haters have to comment on social media and don't know how to spell. And unfortunately, as you saw, she didn't know how to spell your right. It's Youre, not Your. But I think that's embarrassing enough for her. Now, when I did take a snapshot of it and post it on TikTok and everything, I did have another person comment on it and basically saying, like, how can I embarrass them? Because in the end, they're the ones that are embarrassing you. This is another young person who commented on this. Um, well, in the end of the day, like, I replied to that person basically saying, like, I have my ways. I always have my ways to embarrass those people. Um, that person's still young too. It's just one of those things that we have to reflect on life. No, excuse me. In the end of the day, I don't feel embarrassed at all because there's nothing they can do to embarrass me or make me feel any less of myself. These haters, these people who comment on my stuff with hateful towards anything towards me, it doesn't ruin my day. Not anymore. Because I look at it this way: you say something hateful on my content, that just shows me your life is miserable. But that is more towards my older haters. The younger haters, I feel like they still have a chance, which is why this 13-year-old needs to go through a journey. Because while this teenager grows up, she needs to realize what she says can hurt. And I hope she does. But this is why I wanted to keep talking about my rise above hate topic from last week. Because our mature viewers, words can hurt, but it also can affect the young and the innocent. And unfortunately, this is a good example of how it can. It's just wow. Wow. But for me personally, I have nothing against towards this teenager. Like I said, I do feel like there's more to this teenager's story. I keep saying this person. Sorry. I just want to keep calling her a teenager. I feel like there's more to this teenager's story. I feel like there are stuff that's going on behind closed doors in her life. And I wish her nothing but the best. I just hope when this teenager grows up that she starts to realize in the past what she has said towards people. Um, yeah, I'm just, I'm just kind of more disappointed that there's still people in this world that are teaching their kids to be like this and think it's okay. They think it's okay to treat people like dirt. And I feel like, yes, I am an outcast in my family. I am an outcast in my dad's family. I mean, come on, they kind of basically disowned me. Only certain members of the family. I'll say this: my whole entire dad's side of the family are not cruel. It's just only certain people, and they have that mindset that basically it's okay to treat people like dirt. It's okay to judge people, and I didn't want to be that type of person. Should never judge a book by its cover. You should probably get to know somebody before you judge them. Yes, I just took something out of Darman himself. But it's just, yeah, you don't know what that person's going through. I don't know what that teenager is going through. I don't know what anybody is going through. But I always say that my door is open. If you ever want to talk to me privately about your problems and get advice, you are more welcome to message me privately and we can talk. I'm a good person that will listen and I'll give you the best advice as possible. I wish we could live in a world that we didn't have to hate each other, but unfortunately, that's never going to happen. So, like I said, with that being said, I wish nothing but the best for this teenager. And that's just basically it. Plain and simple. So, before I close out this podcast, I just want to let everybody know that I might make the move to Spotify to continue my podcast. One of my good friends saying that it would probably be a good idea if I continue my podcast on Spotify or something instead of continuing it on YouTube. Um, Now, if I do find something better, I don't know if I'll continue the podcast on YouTube. We'll see. Maybe I will. We'll see how that goes. But my friend's gonna help me look that up and see what we can do. Um, Also, I will also share in the description below of my cover of Every Rose Has Its Thorn, since Shane Booth lost his shit over that. And like I said, and also said before the beginning, that I will also share my video tribute to my grandfather. So yeah, you guys could check those out if you are new to the channel. Check those out and have a good time. All right, guys. I think I have talked in your ear for one day for enough. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. I love you all very much. Thank you for being loyal fans to me always. And I'm always here for you if you guys ever want to talk. All right, take care. Love you all. Stay safe.